what I would advocate is symmetrical. Everything, all his muscles are lined up to kind of take that.
Mm-hmm.
So if I went two different directions. This one went down at an angle, this one went up on an angle. That changes a little bit. See, now I've started to get this hip off because of the way I did that. If I just go straight this way, like I'm doing CPR, I'm pushing his back on, which may help me doing that, may help me get stood up to where I can get his hips over his head. But personally, I would rather do some sort of wrist lock. So from this position, he's gonna, he's gonna be trying to do some control, etc., to handle this, right? So let's go back to that very first where you initially put both hands up. So he put both hands up. I'm gonna slide up. I'm gonna slide up and put my crowbar in here. So I've gone into this position. I need to prevent his escape and slide up, and I'm in that position. Now again, like with all our other Tuite, that pinky needs to follow the path, and I'm in that position. So I just drive it down, and again, I bend his arm. Now I'm here, right? So again, I'm trying to do this so I can get up. He's trying to prevent me from getting up. I can even pass his head to help me get up to this position. Once I'm here, bent, all of this is bent, right? My typical control, I don't want to get kicked in the head, so I'm going to go here and here. I'm inside his leg so that I can help pass this when I roll him over. And I'm controlling this. I'm going to take this elbow and drive it into his femoral and then just roll him straight over until I get him completely off him or can pin. Now switch it around, turn around the other way. All right, so we got a little bit better angle for the cheap seats now. I'm here, I'm trying to do this in preparation to standing up. He's trying to prevent me from standing up. Now, this hand's doing whatever it's doing, but it can't. Go ahead and put your hand up there and try to control. He can't really control me doing that. That's just a temporary distraction to get me into this pry. All right, here's my forearm. 1, 2, 3 points of contact. As I start to bend that, he's already wanting to tap out. Control, control, control. I can also just kind of pull through and get right back into that pin here, right? So this time I've got a flexion, and I'm going to relax that. But you can see if I get that flexion in there, if I go to put it in there, it's very, very tight if I keep hold of it. So I'm just going into here to show that I can still control him from that position. If this is rotated up, it's pretty brutal. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to do that. So back to this again. Let's bump down this way a little bit more. So I decide I'm going to try to break this up and stand up. To release this, he captures here. Initially, I'm just going to do that because that straightens his arm a little bit and gives me the space to put my crowbar in there. This hand's going to come up as I shear that off, and now I'm in a standard flexion technique. I use my elbow to bend that further. I keep pressure, slide. There's no coming off of it. I slide until my thumb is in the notch, and I start just pushing them over. I'll be nice this time and not do the femoral, but as I go to the ground, I chalk that. If I did that motion as I put this leg here, probably break that, but I don't really want to break. If I break something and he's on PCP, then I just lost, he doesn't feel pain, I've lost my ability to control him. So really, typically in this one, I will stay in this position, or I may let his elbow come up, straighten, and come right up into this lock. Again, our standard police arm bar, shoulder lock, wrist lock, cuffing position.
If I go for a choke like this, I'm going to want to pull it in and bring my elbows apart and do
so. Defense for that is the top hand crowbar. So get back in that position. So I'm gonna release the top hand. I'm gonna make a crowbar, and then my chin needs to go this way. And now I'm gonna shoot straight into that. I hop out, then you roll over.
Okay.
Right?
It's,
Make sense?
Yeah, and it's the same for if I'm just using that as a posture break. Just one lapel is the same as if I do a hook.
If you're doing this and that arm is going to be slapping, punching, doing whatever, you're trying to control me with that. This one I do an upper block. So this is the same as our wall tuite where somebody's choking you up against the wall. I'm bringing the mirrored hand under and pinky into the crease, and then I just cup 1 or 2 fingers in that groove that's on the outside of where the bicep and the tricep is. So I'm just basically getting there. I don't want to go hard on your bicep or push hard on your tricep because that strengthens you and brings your elbow in. What I want to do is, once you get in that position, come in and just get in that crease, right? And then I just do an upper block. And I'm right there.
Okay.
Right? So, again, even if that's tucked in fairly tight, so that's tucked in, right? Pull that elbow in. It's just an upper block. That's all I'm doing, right? And if you're still trying to control stuff over here, if I want to add that face in there, and then I'm right here into this position,